Well, one of the first questions people will have when they're injured in a construction site accident in Georgia is, well, what do I do now? Who do I need to tell about this? Should I tell anybody at all? And if I tell them, what do I tell them? Normally, contractors out on the site or the company that's responsible for managing your work, if you've had a serious accident, which a lot of times construction site accidents are very, very serious, they're going to know at that point. There's notice given. Now, if no notice has been given that you've been injured, that can actually work to your detriment. Although I do not recommend giving any kind of recorded statements, you got to be careful. You got to be careful about not giving notice, because if you don't give notice, that may end up being used against you in the future to try to throw some doubt on your credibility in the case. What you find in construction site accidents and all other types of accidents, really, when you get into litigation, after a lawsuit is filed in a case, the credibility of the parties matters greatly. And anything you do, even if your motives were perfectly fine in not giving notice, they could make that look as if you were hiding something perhaps, or maybe you weren't hurt there and you made that up, or maybe your injuries just weren't that much, which will affect your damages, and so you didn't give notice. So generally, yes, you want to give notice of what happened. Now, after you give notice, though, things can get even more complicated in a construction site accident. There may be issues as to whether you are an employee or independent contractor, and there may be issues as to who you could bring a personal injury claim against. And also, you may have issues as to whether contractors out on the site that injured you have insurance. A lot of times there's issues as to whether your own direct employer on a construction site has liability insurance, whether they have even workers' comp insurance, and then what insurance even the general contractor may carry. Is it an umbrella policy? What's it going to cover? So you do want to give notice. You got to be careful, though, because of these complicated issues, what you say and do after that. So no recorded statements, and you need to be careful about committing to things like, well, I'm an employee. It may be your best interest that you are a contractor, not an employee. Then again, it might cut the other way. That's why you need to get an attorney. My firm is uniquely suited because of my background in workers' compensation and also personal injuries from construction site accidents. We're in a unique position here to help you with your case, but these are complicated issues that arise out of these accidents in Georgia. So give us a call and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.